Okay, we're live. I'm gonna change some settings, let people join here. Okay, for some reason there's no music. Actually, it's too loud. I'm realizing that because I'm gonna be using these VODs as my form of recording now, that means I can't separate audio channels, so having music is actually quite a liability. I have to keep the music really far down. Okay. Oh, Zolhex is back. Anyways, plan for today is to finish up the Dangote Distillus that I got stonewalled by last stream. We have all the thorium we need. In fact, we have like 50,000 thorium, so all I'm missing is a recipe for the distillation tower and then a bunch of vis crystals. How are you today? I'm doing quite well. Very slow but steady progress on the Project Singularity summary video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to show you guys... Oh, what? That's interesting. Gonna try to show you guys what the video is looking like once I have the intro finished, but it's been like 4 weeks and I'm still just doing the intro. Basically done, though. Oh, what Hecuba, wait. I feel like I know your username. You Silksong Runner? Okay, you're Mia. Okay, well, you're the one Silksong Runner who will vaguely understand what I'm doing here. Well, no, you're just Mia on the Discord, so I'm just making sure. I don't know the full username. You read on Greek myth stuff and found that's how you got your name. Well, more specifically, I got my name from Percy Jackson because it was the first name I saw when I was like, I should get a username. Open book. There's one. So there is actually no reason for the specific name I chose, and it's actually kind of like odd. Like a queen of some city, I think. I don't care. It's the first name I saw. I use it now. Oh no! Okay, never mind. Plans are scratched. Why are we out of gasoline? No valid recipe found. Not a flute output. What are you missing? You're missing anti-knock. Okay, what's anti-knock missing? Missing butene. Of course it's missing butene. Always missing butene. Okay, well why isn't butene running? Not enough fluid output space. Okay, probably the LCR. You're stuck on refinery gas. Is refinery gas not being voided? It's not. See, that one button is what just nearly killed that factory. Okay, problem solved. Anyways, let's get back to this. We're gonna get the Dangote Distillus, which, if you don't know, it's like a distillation tower, but more. So you can see this is a regular distillation tower, and then there's a bunch more information on here, because, well, there's two modes for it, but we want the distillation tower. 12 parallels, 350% speed. It has normal EU usage, but that doesn't matter to me. Basically, it will run most of our recipes around 50 times faster or 40 times faster, which is just completely stupid. Most of the systems I have right now are actually designed for this thing, so I need to make some. Blaze powder, of course. Don't we literally use this in Blazing Pyrotheum? We should have this. A multi-block? Well, no, I'd say a multi-block would be like the Mega EBF. This is just an upgraded version, because it's actually exactly the same, just a different control block. So in fact, all we're going to be doing is replacing the controllers on all of these distilleries, and then they're better. Also, that reminds me, I should get HSSG coils, just for efficiency. I think the whole factory is something like 150 coils. Oh. How do we make those? It's probably for this. Judging by the fact that it's exactly the amount you'd need for a quad EBF. I love just finding stuff in storage and knowing exactly what it was for. Yeah, I didn't really show when we first made these HSSS coils, but these are by far the best coils available on the server. Very fast. I fear I'm stuck gregging for the next week. My jump key broke. Damn. What's your jump key? I use space. I'm a spacebar Giga Chad. Also, why are HSSG coils not craftable? Z, oh, she plays on defaults. Everyone laugh at her. She plays on defaults. Oh yeah, out of context, they don't, people don't realize you're talking about Silk Song. Also, is the assembler broken? Which one? Yeah, it looks like the Ivy assembler has no access to storage. Oh. Right. I don't understand how this works. This whole system makes no sense to me. Better than my friend who uses mouse for a lot of controls. I have left click for attack, right click for silk spear, and mouse button 4 for claw line, so there you go. It just makes sense. I'm a Terraria player. Attack's gotta be on the mouse. Rival Cryo? No, but I heard about Cryo's binds. It's like mouse button 3, like middle mouse for claw line. What are we talking about? Like you better have a weird ass mouse, because this mouse can't do mouse button 3 for claw line. It takes too much effort to push down the button. Also, please, where's our assembler? Here it is. Okay, there's multiple. What? We need a precision assembler. That does not need to be multiplied. We actually usually need precise amounts. His reputation precedes him, it appears. No, I'm just really in the community. Like, I know most of the speedrunners that have submitted more than 10 runs. Or not submitted, completed. A lot of people don't submit anything that isn't, like, absolute cinema. Why did I just try to craft 22? I need, like, 100. Why can we do that? Why are we just able to craft that many? Sure, go. Make HSSG coils. Go, my child. 1,000 HSSG ingots. Gaia reference. Dude, I need help. Gaia holds the room sob for Bone 9, I think is the room. But he doesn't get silk. He makes room sob completely broken. He doesn't get silk at the start of the room. Which means it's technically unbeatable. Because you need that silk. And he's breaking the rules by having that up there. But I can't get a fast enough time to try to replace his room sob. Like, I think you'd still have to be within 0.2 or 0.3 of his time, but I can't do that. Right, Dangote. Is the first Dangote done? No, it didn't craft. Why didn't it craft? Blaze powder. Why are we out of blaze powder? I don't think we make blaze powder, actually. I think that's why. I think the only way to make it right now is centrifuging fire charge we get from the witch farm. Which is, for some reason, not storage bust, so I'll just do this. It's on my ass about an old ST com sub for Silk Sword because I was on 60 FPS and could do a more consistent skip setup. That's dumb. I swear, the sky itself is broken in our base. It's a very weird thing to be broken, but it is broken. Yeah, that's a problem. We make pyrotheum dust with blaze powder. If we don't have infinite blaze powder, that's a problem. You know what time it is? It's time for a blaze bee. What options are there? Oh, there's literally a blaze bee. It makes simmering comb and blaze comb, but it makes really small amounts. I do like simmering comb because this gets us lava. But is there a better source of blaze comb? No. Blaze powder itself, how do we make it? Is there better sources? No, this one's interesting. That looks like about it. Okay, we're just gonna make a blaze bee. Screw it. Oh, it's a volcanic bee. I can do that. Oh, Mia, are you ready to see a 2-hour bee stream? You've joined for the right stream. Hell yeah. This is why we are not playing Silksong right now. This is what I got off Silksong to do. It's time to do bees. Except not right now, actually. I need these Dangotes crafting. And then I can do bees. Fully. This is not the palm tree brain rot stream. Infamous stream. Truly one of my greatest works. There we go. Make some Dangotes. And yeah, our LUV circuits are now using quantum circuits. Wow, that's a lot of quantum circuits. That needs like 186. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. It also needs a whole 20,000 liters of boric acid. to make the thorium. Also, an LCR power failed somewhere. I didn't really want to acknowledge it, but I probably should. Oh, not even a chemical reactor, a chemical plant. That's not good, because that's going to delete shit. How did that happen? Step down Ivy to Eevee. Oh, there's just no cable plugged into it. Well, that'll do it. Let me just make sure. This is an LUV cable. That's the LUV in. This shouldn't explode. I'm still terrified of everything to do with these cables. There we go. Right, okay. That's not fast. That's for sure. Let me just borrow something real quick. Oh, I need more than that. Okay, fine. I need 9 coils. I just ripped out more than 9. Where did the other coils go? There. Yes, this will void a recipe. Actually, if I did it fast enough, it would have been fine, which is funny. What do you mean incomplete structure? Does it not like that? Did I make it too good? Are the coils too powerful? It's just broken. Thank you, game. Why? Guess I might as well use this time to also use the tungsten steel pipe case. Oh, I just remembered. There's more than 9 coils on each of these. That'll make this really expensive, actually. Well, we can thank Aspect for the free HSSS coils. I'm now going to put these back on the EBFs so that I can have HSSS on my chemical plants. This is some kind of greed, but whatever. TPV is only like 2 tiers behind. It's fine, surely. It's not like the system's already busy doing 1200 HSSG ingots. That's the wrong one. Okay, in a way this is now more powerful than this chemical plant, even though this one uses DPM casing, but whatever. There we go. All that to just cut it in half. It didn't even do that much. Whatever. Oh, that broke. Whatever. That one's stuck with mica insulator sheets. This is stuck with everything. And I guess it's bee breeding time. I'll regularly go back and check on this. We need to replace like half the distilleries with Dangotes to keep up with throughput. So we're going to be making a lot of these. This is just for 2 Dangotes, and it's using these kinds of quantities. And it's kind of just a base stress test. If anything goes wrong, we need to just fix it and improve any bottleneck. I mean, right now, let me look at it. Is there a bottleneck I can fix? Stuck on carbon fiber, nano CPU, and thorium. Thorium we just tried to fix. Carbon fiber is weird because that's an autoclave. We should be able to do this really fast. Do we use PBI? I don't think we use PBI for that. It's the bee you're trying to get. I'm going to do the blaze bee right now, and then I'll set up Naquita. Okay, let me see. Is PBI faster is the first question. That's actually way harder of a question than I thought. Kind of. It's kind of faster. It depends on if PBI itself is faster. So I can just test that by trying to make some. Can you please let me craft it? That's polycaprolactam. That's a nope. Okay. Also, we're out of phthalic acid. Sure. I'm not gonna deal with that. Carbon fiber wasn't that much of a bottleneck. Everything's waiting on thorium. Okay. So, for a volcanic bee, needs a nether biome, that's fine. We need demonic and furious. I know we have demonic, because I bred that a few days ago. That should be... There, that's demonic bee. But furious, I think, was the other one. I don't think we have. There's a possibility we have it in one of these. But I really doubt it. Okay, we're gonna have to breed one. So I know we have Fiendish and Embittered. Did I get a stock of Fiendish bees, though? Yes. I'll get a few more. I'm running out of bees in here. I don't want to breed with Embittered right now, because that's just gonna make the bee I want. Which sounds like, why wouldn't you do that? I need more Fiendish bees first. Also, I'm gonna have to stop the Dangote recipe because we voided 2 thorium recipes. And so it's gonna be missing 4 thorium-232. Which is unfortunate. Thorium-232 should be passive, though. Don't know what we're doing by not having it passived. This is an interesting way if only there was like a thoriumite bee. That's interesting, but it's probably made with thorium-232. It won't tell me. Yeah. Okay, then there's this. This one's interesting, because we could do this with bees. I think? Or am I wrong? I swear it comes from Rare Earth 3. No, it doesn't look like it. Huh, okay. This really does seem like the best way to make it. Which means I should be doing it in the other chemical plant. Why are we doing it in that one? Other chemical plant is LUV. Genius. But I need more HSS coils then. I need 12 more? Just made a NASA workbench. Any tips? That's a very vague question. Also, if you're asking for GTNH tips, you're going to the wrong guy. I just buy shit. Oh, I forgot to do that. There's no way that's my fiendish stock. I will actually, like, void this shit if that's my fiendish stock. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. So that's the Fiendish Drone, the Fiendish Princess. We also have Embittered Princess, so I'm just going to use that. So it's Fiendish and Embittered to make Furious. It needs to be done in another biome, so I'll take this out. Move it in here. Put that back in there. Server restart soon. It wants me to hold all those things. That's really annoying. Oh, this might be passable, actually. I could do your zinc back. Wait a minute, this is actually a really good line. I mean, I'm not gonna do it because it's really complicated and it's gonna take a lot of time to set up. But this is actually a really good line. That makes a ton of thorium-232. If I made it passive, then it would be so easy. Okay, well, we have to wait for server restart now. Also, hold on, why on earth do I need a specific isotope of thorium for oil distillation? Like, the only time isotopes really matter is in nuclear physics, and I hope we're not, like... I hope we're not splitting thorium atoms inside this distillery. Like, it's really not a chemistry thing. So why do we need thorium-232? Okay. Wow, that just gave completely purebred Furious. And we got a quest for it. So is this used in anything? Yes, it's... lowering. Holy. Is this useful? Kind of. Fine. I'll get a really shit stock of these bees. Okay, that's awesome. Distillery with built-in nuclear reactor. That's awesome. I'm sure you need that. Why do I still have to give it power input, though? Where is this? It's over here. Oh, hey, volcanic. That's exactly what we need. There is the pyrotheum bee here. The pyrotheum bee is interesting, because it would... That's not good. It would get us infinite pyrotheum and blaze powder. Wait. It's just slow, that's the problem. It's starting fires literally everywhere. Jeez. This bee is insane! Stop it! Oh, I do have to finish this, though. Good thing fire tick is off on the server. This is an incredible amount of fires being started. Just by one bee. Okay, I want a good 4x princess. So is there one of these? Honestly, their find bee would be pretty good, because this is... I don't know. There's probably a better option. I could go off the diamond princess. Or emerald. What's emerald used in? I already have plutonium. There's two seemingly useless ones, so I could use this. Hold on, let me get a good bee in here. We're running out of shaded bees. No, we're not. There's a stack in there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a really good princess here. And that'll mean the first round of breeding I do with this volcanic bee will instantly be 4x. And then I can start looping that. 4x fertility, that is. I'm gonna explain as if no one here has seen me breed bees before, because maybe some people haven't. What bee are we doing? We're getting the volcanic bee, which produces blazing comb for blaze powder. We need blaze powder for some recipes, and also to run the Vulcanus, which is a machine Aspect made a few days ago. It's just an EBF, but really fast. But yeah, it needs blazing pyrotheum, which needs blaze powder, so we're making that. So now this princess has 4x fertility, so once we throw it in here, it's going to give us a bunch of bees, all of which will have some volcanic traits. No queen, that's not true. There you go. That's shaded volcanic. It really doesn't matter which one I choose here. I'll do this. They both have volcanic as a secondary trait. And so now we hope this has 4x. It does not. But this one has double 4x, so we're going to choose that one. Too humid. Okay. I'll send you to hell. Solves the problem instantly. Uh-oh. Fires don't explode machines, right? Okay, it is now double 4x, but it has mostly bred out the machine booster trait. And also has terrible climate tolerance. Also, this princess is basically useless at this point. Okay, can you get Machine Booster in here so that you stop burning down my base? That would be great, thanks. There, this one's double Machine Booster. It also has great climate traits. So I actually don't have to do this here, but the World Accelerator's set up, so I might as well. There, let's double Machine Booster. We just find something like this that's the same. But I want good other traits, so that works for me. There we go. So this bee will stop burning down my base, and now I can actually try to make it good. So I'll have these backup bees, but we're gonna chuck this into the Jaded Bee again, because the Jaded Bee has perfect stats, and so we need to mix some of those in again. And I don't have to look at this first generation, because they're all perfectly mixed 50-50. So they're all gonna be the same. Now is when the randomness begins. Already double volcanic. That's really lucky. That's double blinding. I like that a lot. I might do that. And that's double jaded, so we're gonna run this bee. So now these are all fully volcanic. Maximum pollination, not that it really matters. I think I can secure Tolerant Flyer right now if one of these has a double yes on Tolerant Flyer. They don't. That's unfortunate. Is there something else I can do, though? I think this is the best one. Okay, blinding and maximum. Well, blinding and... Wow, I'm reading these, not these. Production and pollination are perfect. Those are bad, though. So we're not going to do this one, because it removes blinding. This one looks good, though. Ooh, probably going to use that. Yeah. There we go. Can I secure Cave Dwelling? Yeah, this one secures it. So then there should only be one variant, and that's Tolerant Flyer, which we'll fix now. Okay, wow, that's just unlucky. We'll chuck in this bee. Okay, now, please. No. Awesome. That's terrible. These are all really bad. I'm gonna trash those. Okay, I've managed to get exactly the same bees on this second generation. So hopefully I can get a double yes on this one. Watch the princess of a double no. Oh, double yes. Holy. If I just find another one of those, then we're done. Like that. Easy. I've gotten into a pretty good rhythm with that. So, now I need to actually set up a hive for this. It's going to produce Simmering Comb and Blaze Comb. Needs preferred climate, that's a bit of a problem, so we're going to need a biome change potion. But Blaze Comb just gets centrifuged into wax and blaze powder. And then Simmering Comb gets centrifuged into refractory wax and phosphor. Phosphor I want to extract right on the spot, turn it into lava. Technically I could use a squeezer to get more lava out of it, but I'd rather die than deal with forestry machines, so we won't do that. So then that means I need... I'll probably go with a multi-block centrifuge, actually. Now, it's not going to be producing that much, and these do seem really slow. Yeah, okay, I'll just do 2 HV centrifuges. And then those will output blaze powder and phosphor. Should play around with some forestry machines. Oh, wow! I was about to threaten you, but I got a bit distracted. Casually about to threaten this random chatter. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any other fires. Also, how has, Oh, that's not good. Flatline is stalled, it looks like. Or at least the bottom level of it is stalled. It does have platinum residue, so what is the problem? Out of potassium disulfate, why? Aspect did mess with the system we're using for this, so I am a little bit concerned. What does this one do? Okay, this is our potassium disulfate. Doesn't go anywhere. And what are you missing? Has oxygen. It has sulfur, it just doesn't have potassium. Well, how did we lose it? Literally impossible to lose potassium in this system. It's a loop. And I have no clue what that's being used on. That's actually kind of concerning that there's sodium being imported. What on earth is happening? Okay, somehow stuff got into storage. Mainnet. Why is there an interface here? What does this do? Okay, so I don't know how this happened. I'm just gonna chuck it back into this network and hope it doesn't make its way back into the main net. That's really weird. It is very weird when Aspect does this kind of stuff, because we have a very complex and intricate system with AE2 channels, and then he's like, oh man, we need a new extractor, so he'll plop this down, and then suddenly every single thing in the room breaks, because he, like, randomly broke a cable that he didn't know was, like, the most important cable in the entire thing. Like, please don't touch our systems. They're very important and intricate. Wait, I'm so confused. How'd that get there? Okay, well that should start it back up. We do have... Oh, Iridium and Osmium haven't changed in years. It is literally just Palladium and Platinum that have been building up this whole time. We do have a lot of Platinum, though. Anyways, that's a huge sidetrack. Let's go back to bees. Bees are really where the content is at here. So another thing I want to do today is set up the Naquita bee, so I'll place the apiary there, but this all reminds me that this is all running on generators, which is where the title of this stream comes in. I said bee remodeling, because this should not stay. This isn't just, like, really hard to work with, because there's so many generators. This is also inefficient, because these EV generators... These are at 65% efficiency. The main generators are at 150. So these are almost 3 times worse than the main generators. And if I just connected this up to a cable, it would use so much less gasoline. So we're gonna have to bring the cable out here, and then we're gonna have to get like 500 transformers. I think I'll pump the whole system with 4 amps IV, though maybe it'll need more. I'll start with 4 amps IV, though. And where should I run the cable? Because this is a great spot for the cable, but the gasoline needs to be there for the time being. Well, does it? Honestly, not really. And there's currently a lot of gasoline deficit, so I might as well just pipe this into storage. Are you guys ready to hear 500 power fails? Because I need to disconnect this entire pipe. So, since there's currently a gasoline deficit, this is actually going to work in our favor, because I can put a dual interface here and just pipe it all in. All the gasoline that's still in this network can head straight to storage. Flush it all out. And I guess I can do the same with all these lines, it's just going to take a little bit of work. There we go. Oh, whoops. I'm still very slowly learning how these work. How this wrench works for, like, mass shuttering pipes. Oh, I've caused issues. Whatever, it'll flush out. Thank you, GTNH Weather. Oh no. There we go. Dude, I can't even be bothered. Just shut up. I could sleep, but let me stream. Oh, why have I done this? It's literally just looping into itself. There, this should work now. I'm doing this because I don't want to lose out on all the gasoline that this system still has. There are so many pipes around here that this probably stores around 4,000 buckets just in the pipes. Stabaloid pipes are crazy like that. And so I just need to make sure all the gasoline is accounted for. It does look like I have succeeded in that, though. Okay, we're gonna start hearing a lot of power fails very soon. Generators just need to run out of gasoline, and then that'll be it. What happened to Neurotic Goose? He just uploaded 2 days ago. He just does members first. Also, I will say this on behalf of most of the Project Singularity members, there's nothing more annoying than like 100 people asking you every day why you won't play a certain game. Like, first of all, most of the time when you guys ask that, we are playing it, it's just GTNH. It takes incredibly long to do anything interesting. And second of all, if we're not playing, like Aspect, he took a month-long break. He's back now. Like, he just wanted to play other things. It's a video game. We don't have to play it all the time. We have zero obligation, so there's nothing more annoying than getting 1,000 requests every day. Why aren't you playing this? I don't know, I didn't want to. Like, I'm pretty sure out of everyone here, I am the only one who does YouTube full-time, and yet my attention is still split between Silksong and GTNH. None of us are putting our full attention on Project Singularity. I'll leave the generators here because these give me an idea of how much power the whole system takes, so that I can place the transformers accordingly. That had gasoline in it? Whatever, man. Most Greg Tech players would just break all the pipes with the gasoline in it. Like, it is infinite. We produce it forever. Doesn't make a difference. Why aren't you playing My Furry Roommate? I am. You don't know. I could be playing it on the other monitor. How presumptuous. Oh, there's cetane in here. What is this pipe? I'm not gonna worry about it. Wait, we're still powering most of these from generators? That's disgusting. Half our network is running on cetane-boosted diesel right now. I'm gonna have to take an axe to this entire section of the base. That's awesome. Entire time he's actually been speedrunning Silksong. His inputs are somehow lined up to make it look like he's playing GTNH. True. It stream's 55 minutes long, so actually in that time I could have beat Silksong. With several deaths. Never centralizing power this far along is absolutely crazy. From what I can tell, it's actually kind of normal. Really just depends on what your base is being powered by. We were gonna do it in EV. I think EV would have been a more normal time to do it, but our plans got completely overturned in EV due to like 100 different factors, so that didn't happen. I'm gonna have to re-centralize this. That's dumb. Also, this isn't painted. Is there a line mode on the spray can? There isn't. That's awesome. And just holding click doesn't really work. Will the server update to 2.9? We're debating that. Right now it's basically up to Goose and Duck and Mastiox because their base runs on exploits that only work in this version. So as soon as they decide that they don't need those exploits anymore, then we can update. Though honestly, I don't care. I'll just continue playing here. I think those exploits are very funny. I think the Ducklings are my favorite team on the server. If I wasn't playing on the server, I'd probably be watching their content very regularly. But being on the server makes you feel very different about those types of teams. It's demoralizing to watch that content. So I haven't. Still looking from afar. Very funny to look at. What funny exploits are there? Mainly over-enchanting. Like, they have looting... Someone can correct me, like 60,000, I think? And they get most of their ores from, like, a Fortune 20,000 pickaxe. Now, Greg Tech ores don't allow Fortune, but they have a way of getting non-Greg Tech ores very reliably, so... Overenchant won't work in 2.9? I mean, yeah, but only to the intended amount, which is taking Fortune 3 to Fortune 4 and looting 3 to looting 4. They've been using an exploit to put it past 4. Okay, what were we doing? Oh yeah, these. I want Ivy Transformers here, and then... Yeah, I'll just take it straight to EV here. I'm glad we're still producing diesel, though. For a while I planned to replace the diesel factory with the hog factory, but I just knew that would cause a lot of problems when switching, so very glad we did it this way. Because it's more of a slow and seamless transition. But yeah, the most important thing for overenchanting is that the Goose's... Yeah, the Duckling's base, and I think Vic's base, and Tofu Corp, all run on the same educational spikes that give them literally millions of XP per second. And often, most of the time those systems are offline because it just instantly fills all the super tanks with liquid XP, and then nearly crashes the server in doing so. But XP can be crafted into metals through XP crafting, which is, I think, itself an exploit that needs to be patched. But it's taken to a really far extreme on this server. I personally hate XP crafting with a burning passion. I haven't heard anyone who actually thinks it's a good design. But in GTNH, you gotta do what you gotta do, so I hold nothing against those teams. If it weren't for bees, I wouldn't be playing, in other words. Because the two ways to generate resources is XP crafting and bees. Or nugget duping. Which itself gets very exploity once you try to take it to scale. Did I seriously just do this? Okay, man. Apparently there's another EV generator here that I missed. Okay, you're cut. Should be good. Don't plug it into a generator, that's a bad idea. And that's Osmeridian. There we go. Then there's this. I believe this is my centrifuge. No, this is the lathe. Honestly, do not care. I'll deal with that later. Where does the diesel come from? There. Okay, so I can just remove this. Okay, well now I've removed the ability for me to even put the cable through there. So I don't want to lower it one block, that just looks really bad always. Alright, that's our diesel. So I need the cable to enter through there. It's obviously not going to be able to go straight on because of this ME cable. But I'll try to take it down roughly in the same spot. I think I could just pull it from around here. Fair amount of Minecraft industrial packs are like that in the mid to late game. In my experience, only GTNH is like that. Like, TFG has a very similar approach with resources, where it gives you very few to no passives. But it scales the resource costs accordingly. And so, generally, actually placing mining drills is good, because fortune isn't a thing. And it will get you enough. You find an area that has multiple ore veins, which you can't do in GTNH because they're spaced out perfectly, always. Find an area that has a bunch of good ore veins. You place down the drill there, you get like 10k crushed ore of all the types you need. That'll last you like a month. And that's good. GTNH just, it scales it way too high while having a system that gives you less than TFG does. And so you need to have resource passives to handle those kinds of costs. And the only way to do that is... Oh, well that fixes that. Completely accidentally. Only way to fix that is to do XP crafting, or crop breeding, or nugget duping, or bees, and bees was my choice. But most other packs I've played are like Nomi Factory. You have micro miners, you have to set up this giant, complicated 82 crafting system to make all these micro miners. But once you have it set up, huge resources. In fact, honestly, ought take too many resources. Nomi Factory does often go a bit overkill and just give you so much shit. Often the challenge was actually figuring out how to get through all the ore fast enough, which meant, like, paralleling ZPM macerators in LUV. It's like... it was insane. E2E also has a bit of a problem where it gives you too much. There is a balance, that's the thing. Like, GTNH isn't entirely wrong for trying to hold you back on that. Because E2E also had this issue where if you know sieves are good, now you have 800,000 iron ore and nothing to do with it. A lot of Skyblocks also have this problem, because you have to be able to generate everything from nothing, and that means everything can scale, and suddenly you're incredibly rich. So I'm sure StarTech has a little bit of that. Though I don't know much about StarTech. I don't know what Ivy looks like for resource generation. Maybe some StarTech players can inform me. Resource gen feels very fair. Okay, well, good. I feel like E2E would have been really good if sieves weren't a thing. Like, I rushed the Void Miner in my playthrough, and that got punished pretty hard, because the Void Miner is actually just bad. But if I was better with how I did that, like maybe there's some earlier ore passive that's kind of weak that gets me to the Void Miner, and then I parallel a bunch of them. I only made one because I thought that would be enough. I was very, very bad at modded Minecraft back then. But yeah, if I had paralleled a bunch of like tier 3 Void Miners, that would have been a great source of resources. That would have been E2E solved. So I think if it weren't for sieves, E2E would actually be very balanced in that front. Okay, Transformer time. Jeez, guy who can type? Too many resources presents a more interesting problem. How are you going to get rid of, use, or store and process all that? Well, you get super chests or upgraded drawers to store it all. And then you just get a really good ore processing system that does everything on demand. Or you have an ore processing system at the base of it. This is kind of what I'm doing with bees. Every time a bee comb is produced, I turn it into usable dust instantly. And so this is instantly just what I want, instead of taking the raw ore. So if it was E2E, if I did that again, I'd take all the raw ore that the bees produce, send it through a like huge parallel mechanism ore processing system. Actually, I think the sag mill was better in E2E. Send it through the sag mill, smelt it in the Ender IO alloy smelter, and then there you go. Just usable iron ingots on incredibly large scales. Electrolyzing clay for aluminum is extremely overpowered. Yeah, it was removed from the pack. Probably, like, first thing as soon as the new dev team got on it. Like, they saw my series and like, yeah, that's broken as shit, next. And fair enough, I do like the mining. Once I figured it out, that was a very satisfying way to get resources. That felt very fair. Okay, so the plan here... Oh, I did try to keep this all together. Well, sucks for past me. This was really badly done. Oh, it's not called mercury, barium, calcium cuprate. It's called HV superconductor. No more aluminum from clay? Yeah, that was patched during my series. Like, I even had a full segment in an episode about taking down that system because it was patched. And I only updated once, and I updated really late. That was, 0.9. Now they're on 0.12, working on 0.13. Like, that was an old change. Also, there's LV machines in here. This is just gonna cause a nightmare for me. Like, do I even leave this up? How has it only made 31 silky propolis? Because it's broken, of course. Why is it filtered? When was this filtered? It should only filter on input. Why don't you oh, this is power failed, right? Still need to make veins bigger for trains to make any sense. Yeah, that would be really cool. I think what they should bring back is bedrock ore veins. Because that used to be a thing in really old Greg Tech, I think. I wasn't around for it, I've just seen it on wikis. Where in bedrock you would see an ore there, and if you placed a drill above that ore, then it would deplete it sort of like a oil vein. And it would just be one ore, but if you could have like a hematite bedrock ore, and then you have a bedrock ore rig on the surface above there, and then a train comes by and it picks that all up. That would be so cool. That'd be incredibly cool if they could bring back bedrock ore. Or have it like a core mining drill. I know Immersive Engineering has a very similar system, where you can take core samples that will prospect oil, but they will also prospect possible ore veins there. I almost used that in E2E. Like, imagine, especially on Civilization events, this is something I really want to do in TFG, but last time I ran a Civilization event, I actually wanted to die, so I'll probably find someone else to do it. Something I've always wanted to do is have a Civilization event, and if you could have that thing where, like, a full civilization's building all these train networks to all these bedrock ore mining spots around the map, and they're collecting all these resources into this giant smelting hub that's done with, like, Create machines, because Create's still good until, like, MV. That'd be so cool. Again, I don't want to run a Civilization event, because that last time actually gave me cancer, so... For transportation. Oh yeah, I do a bunch of other things that I've seen from other Civilization events that's really cool. Make it so that there's no voice chat, apart from in-game voice chat, so they can't use Discord. They also can't message through Discord. The in-game chat is disabled, so you can only communicate through, like, mail, in-game mail, or just by being near them and talking to them through simple voice chat. That's very cool. Not even that would be very cool. I've had experience with it. It is an amazing system. It provides just such a fun system for a Civilization event. And then, yeah, for your transport, you have trains between different settlements. That'd just be so awesome. I think trains are already fairly cheap to build. You just need a reason to build them. That's the only thing TFG is missing for trains. By the way, GTNH players, is there a way to transform directly from IV to LV? Because this is a nightmare. How big are the train carriages? As big as you want. Crate trains are great. Okay, so how many machines are here? This is... I'll go by amps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's really annoying. Fine, I'll do 2x. But I think with how they're doing it, like, I remember hearing about rhenium being put in deserts. I think having trains actually be viable, where ores are... virtual ore veins are a thing, and you can actually drill them infinitely like that. That would probably push their vision a little bit further. So then you have a train that goes to the desert, and in the desert you mine all that rhenium, and then... you have a big Gabbro region. The Gabbro region has like 2 bedrock nickel veins, and so you have a train that heads over there. Maybe it's the same train. You can do all the train networks that OpenTTD and Factorio does. And then it gets really autistic. Pack gets somehow more autistic than it already is. Hasn't put the time to put together a playlist of all the YouTube VODs. I already did. I do it at the start of every stream, put it in a playlist. Also, this seems like something people just don't know, and I don't know why. Go onto any channel's YouTube page, mine in this example. Right below my channel name, there's Home Videos Shorts Live. Live is a list of every single live stream I've ever done. Jeez, I can't talk. It's every live stream I've ever done, already saved. The VODs are already saved. I don't need a VODs channel. They're just there. This is something YouTube does for every YouTube channel. People don't seem to know this. And then same thing, playlists shows all of my playlists. So there's all of my Silksong streams in order and all of my Project Singularity streams in order. People just don't seem to know how YouTube works. Upgrade whatever's using the power. Maybe I can do that. Yeah, because most of the configuration's just done with the conduit, so it's probably best to upgrade this. I'll be surprised if we get the volcanic bees actually set up today. I have just over an hour left. This is good, okay. I have to be very careful. Why don't you run? Is there no power? Oh, there actually probably is no power, yeah. There's the ivy cable. I'll just pull this across then. Okay. I don't like that. That's a lot of machines connected up instantly. So, the first section's upgraded. What? Oh, okay. So what are we looking at here? Could I power this all in one go? Oh, that's a nightmare. Why did I do it like this? You know what? You know what? We'll keep diesel here. I actually could not care less. I don't want to figure out how this works, so this can stay on diesel. I'm not transforming for that, and I'm not upgrading all the machines. It can just stay like that. They're all low level anyways. It's not a huge efficiency problem. I swear I had orange cables in my backpack. Okay. Should work. There you go. I think that's the only system I'll do that to, because that's the only one that's like such a mess in that way. Oh, this one's a bit weird though. So I believe the MV generators are powering this, because, yeah, this is acceleration 4x. Oh, that one's 8x, but... yeah, I can plug an HV cable into that, so all the MV goes away. The HV chemical reactors I will replace. Well, the LV chemical reactors I'll replace with HV. And so, let's see here. 1, 2... 5, 7, okay, 8 amps again. We'll just do a high amp. Oh, wow. Why am I going for a combustion generator? Also, that reminds me, I should start arc furnacing all these, because they have so much black steel in them. Okay. Wait, what am I powering here? Oh, I completely changed gears. I was gonna do that. Whatever. Guess we're doing this now. Could I connect this to the same high amp? Because I'm not sure how much amps these are using. This is like... ah, no. I think it would be better to keep it separate anyways. I can connect that, though. There we go. Yeah, we have all our cables color-coded to how they show up in here, so... like, EV is gray, and so I actually don't have an example of an EV cable here. We paint all our EV cables gray, because in the UI here, it's gray, and then you can also see IV there, it's lime, and so all our IV cables are lime. LEV is pink, we go pink, and then I think we're doing white for ZPM, which I might want to change. I don't know if we have any ZPM cables around the base yet. We might. But it should be light blue. I don't know why he chose white for that. Anyways, EV transformer will go here. Don't connect it yet. Then HV transformer. Then I need to rip out everything. So these all go into this IA area, which has a 4x accelerator. So IA areas take any voltage, they cannot be overvolted. And so I can just, like, ignore the MV generators, plug in an HV cable anyways. That's what I did in all the future systems. Oh, there is a transformer here, though. That seems to be doing all of this. Yeah. Okay, we'll use this same transformer then. If I remember correctly, the system we're under right now is nickel. Yeah, nickel and manganese. Their ores don't really have any useful byproducts. I think it was just iron. So I put it through forge hammers instead. I could leave up all these HV Electrum cables, but we're doing this all for power efficiency, and I have superconductors, so if we want to be power efficient, we'll use superconductors. Okay, is that everything under here? No. Where's your output? Output is on the left. Okay, these all need to directly auto-output. Okay, let me look at this. This macerator is gonna have byproducts, so... Oh wait, no, this is literally the macerator we already have. It should all be configured right. For some reason I thought I replaced it, so I was gonna try to logic it. There we go. Right now the cable's not live, so I have the chance now to look at anything that could go wrong. This is just a very convenient MV transformer. That goes HV, then it outputs MV to this side. Which outputs MV into there, okay. Good. Always stressful setting up these electrical systems, because one misplace means this entire system is gone, and possibly hundreds of thousands of materials, because, I mean, these barrels actually store, they directly store everything the system produces, so if it gets blown up, at best it crashes the server, because that's a lot of items. But more likely it'll delete the items. Okay, well, here we go. That connects it, but this is still not connected, so I need to make sure that this is all safe. This is IV, right? IV, then this is IV input, that's EV input. Good. We're fine. Okay, next up, this section. Okay, we'll power everything that has HV generators. I could power this, but I won't. Steam pipes of R and U values and have to pressure, so you regulate usage and input. That'll be for my truly most realistic mod that maybe one day could possibly get worked on by at least one person. Oh, there's probably people here who didn't hear about that. I had an idea on stream, a very messed up idea, where you take a mod like Terraform Greg. It's pretty good. It's pretty realistic. They've sort of removed some realism because realism isn't usually fun. Okay, that's fine. It's still, I think, one of the most realistic mods. Maybe Supersymmetry is more realistic. That doesn't matter. I keep it in the title because it gets views. But what if you actually made a mod that's only purpose was to be realistic? Not playable, not fun, just realistic. What would it look like? And would anyone even help me make it? Because that's such a waste of time to make a game that isn't even meant to be fun. Base mod for the pack RL craft. No, I wouldn't do that. If I were to use a base mod, it would be Supersymmetry, and then just stick Terraformacraft onto the beginning part of it. But the problem is Supersymmetry is 1.12, and Terraformacraft back then is really bad. And, I think more importantly, I think it's less realistic than 1.21 TFC. And yes, 1.21 TFC is better than the 1.20 TFC that TFG uses, which itself is already very good. Though I think TFG has some ports. I think they're backporting a lot of 1.1 TFC stuff. Or 1.21. Why was there a light there? Who needs a light on the bottom of here? Okay, is that everything already? Yeah, this area is very simple. I could plug this in, but honestly, do we need more salt? Yes. Okay, we're gonna plug this in. Oh yeah, I finally saw at least one of Goose's videos, just skimming through because I wanted to know what the hell they were doing in the Bedrock dimension. They talked about how they needed fluorine, and how it was impossible for them to mass-produce fluorine. I think they're clueless. I think they're actually clueless. Okay, I was trying to demonstrate my fluorine, but apparently there is none here. Shit, I guess they're right. The point you're just playing Vintage Story? No, but Vintage Story doesn't have factories and chemistry and stuff. By the way, I really hate that. People going, oh man, Vintage Story is just, well, no. TFG is just a ripoff of Vintage Story. Why wouldn't you just play Vintage Story instead? TFG is a factory mod. Vintage Story is a survival game. They're very different. They're very different. Sure, their early game is based on the same thing. Wow, crazy. Being based on the same thing gives a similar result. Wild how that works. Huh. I did just plug that in. But yeah, I just get so many comments that are genuinely rude about it and makes me never want to play Vintage Story. Because, yeah, sure, there's a Vintage Story mod that adds a little bit of electricity, but I look at it and it looks like the original version of Industrial Craft. Like, it is a Nothing Burger mod for Vintage Story. And that's fine. Vintage Story isn't meant for factories. I guess Minecraft isn't either, but we have all this here, so... Okay, is this ready to be plugged in? I think it is. Oh boy. This one has less valuable stuff in it, so I'm a little less scared. Uh-oh. Is my stream good? Or is that just my end? Okay, on my end it was just buffering for a while. Was that a problem for you guys as well? There we go. Okay, what do we have here? So this is actually all 1 HV amp. That's very funny. By the way, did any of this burn out? No. That's all 1 HV amp, that's an HV amp, and then there's this, which is 4 EV amps put into 2 EV energy hatches. I might even turn this into an IV hatch and then directly power it with this cable. I think this would be easier. Hold on. Okay, so this EV high amp transformer does have the capability of drawing all the power, which is why I might actually do this now. Luckily, we built this whole system to be very expandable. All the cables are 16 amps, so I can just do this. Vintage Story goes autistic and Bronze and early Iron Age tech. Yeah, but the TFG does too. Here's the thing. Terraform Greg and Vintage Story are based on the same thing, at least in their early game. So TFG is going to give you a very similar experience to Vintage Story, just, you know, Minecraft and a few other things. But then it's a factory pack for like the last 80% of gameplay. And why I really like that is just because that's the progression curve that people like about GTNH, but GTNH doesn't even do well. That makes you go from, like, struggling in the forest, casting out a single ingot of bronze for your first pickaxe, to literally mass-producing tens of thousands of this stuff and then complaining that you're too poor. Like, that kind of progression is just very, very satisfying. And that's why I prefer TFG over Vintage Story, like, without even hesitating. They're not the same, and TFG has way more appeal to me. Okay, now we just pull black steel cable along here. And there we go. Oh, there is an LV machine here. That's really annoying. Because I also can't make it an HV machine conveniently. Ah, screw convenience then. Because I'm not making an EV single block chem. That's dumb. But yeah, people don't understand just, like, how much I like TFG, because it goes very deep. I've wanted something like TFG ever since I first played a demo of Factorio. Like a really old demo, it was like 2015. I was like, oh man, factory games are so cool. And then I saw the Yogscast playing SevTech later, and it's like, what if these were the same thing? And I wanted that so bad for so long. I played multiple times through SevTech. I needed that. And then TFG comes in, Angel reaching down from heaven. It was so peak. Like, I actually dropped everything as soon as I discovered TFG. Instantly started making a series on it. Like, it's just peak. Okay, I think I can start this up now. There we go. So the first half of the B system is now connected to the main grid. Bronze pick in 2 hours in TFG. Oh yeah, it's good if you're not speedrunning it like I have. I think I once got Black Steel in one sitting over the course of 10 hours. That's the other thing, if you know what you're doing, the Terraformacraft portion of the pack isn't even that long. Like I just said, with a team of 3 other people and 9 hours, I got Black Steel. Okay, so I think I can do all 3 of these with 1 high amp transformer. Oh, the problem is I'm gonna extend this a lot, so actually, no. This is gonna be its own whole sad system. There's an LV generator in there. Don't connect that yet. Jeez. There we go. Make that auto output. 8 hours of time we got across the ocean, made a lawn base. Okay, newsflash here, guys. I'm gonna hit you with the cold hard truth here. Moving south for the tropics is a myth. There is no point in doing it. It's actually, like, really not that useful, especially in modern versions with roads and walking sticks. Just why move south? It's no better down there. A waste of time to move that far, and then you'll misplace your bed and respawn it. And world spawn so far north. It's like barely an inconvenience after the first few days, and I mean, it's not winter in the first few days. You get a walking stick and a spade before winter. We moved northeast. Fire! That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Where you get south from? Because everyone goes south and it pisses me off, actually. Like, every single TFG-based screenshot I see is some guy in the tropics, not knowing that walking sticks are a thing, complaining that he had to walk so far. No one told him he had to walk that far. Like, to be fair, there's rubber trees. That's awesome. But, now in new versions, you don't really have to search for rubber trees because there's high rainfall around rivers, so you just go south, go a little bit east because east always has more rainfall, find a river, boom, there's kapok and rubber fig, you take it back home. So I'm only allowed to go north series to flex on them. I have a series that will idea. Yeah, I have a series idea that will flex a lot more on my absolute TFG knowledge. Wait. Yeah, this can be done with one transformer. This is gonna be a bit annoying. What's power? Oh. Hi. On Flurvin Season 4 of TFG, we had to have rubber trees cheated in. Dude, he doesn't know about bees! What is he doing? Actually, he does. I know he knows about bees. I don't know why he wouldn't just make his server go through all that. Come on. Actual baby. Doesn't want to do TFG bees for rubber. By the way, everyone's gonna be confused what the hell I'm talking about. There might be 1 or 2 people in chat who remember. I will not explain what I mean by TFG bees. There was a way to get rubber with 6,000 hours of bees in TFG. It's evil as shit. There's no bees in TFG. Yes, there is. There literally is. They're, like, kind of important to progression. At least for, like, 2 minutes. You need wax. Actually, no, you don't even need that anymore, because you can use, pine resin. I'm gonna see if anyone in chat can deduce what I'm talking about, because I'm not gonna. I might make a video on it later, so I don't want to spoil the entire idea on a live stream. That's superconductor IV. There we go. What? How are these pulling more? What? They pull 2 amps HV. They shouldn't be burning the cable like that. Farming mushrooms in caves like deranged cavemen. Yeah, I did test mushroom farming. It's actually a very viable way to get rubber if you scale it right. Not even terrible. What is power failing right now? Is it this line? Probably that line. For the bees to get buried under sediment, then fossilize into oil. Fire. Honestly, that might take less time than the evil-ass solution I had devised. Okay, I realize now that I've kind of messed this up, but whatever. Okay, so this side... Surely it can't burn the cable, right? Oh yeah, it definitely can. Because these apiaries can pull so much power when they get started up. HV, it's all HV, then I can plug this in. Now, this should all work. Yep. Okay. By the way, Krypton's going great. We have 40,000 buckets of Krypton. Okay. Right, now this. This is a bit annoying because this whole system doesn't even cover the whole platform, first of all. In fact, I'm gonna move Blaze Powder here. Oh, jeez. Oh, or does Blaze Powder need more space than this? This is gonna be a multi-block centrifuge soon. Okay. So what are we having here? We're gonna have Naquita. Oh, Naquita should have its own platform. This is thorium, blaze powder, and I'm not sure what else. I'm gonna fit a lot onto this platform. And it's gonna take a ton of power. So I don't want to share power with this. Okay, screw you. So then just how much power does this take? It looks like 4 amps of HV. Well, then I should have made these share power. That looks really stupid now. Whatever. Oh, that was... Oh, this is the diamond system, I didn't realize. This one's really important, actually, so having it on a separate power source is good. Because I'm gonna upgrade this a bunch with a multi-block centrifuge and probably give it 16x acceleration, which will mean actually replacing this all with EV stuff. Thank you for all the power fails, that's awesome. Just do that right away. No, I won't, because these are gonna get replaced with a multi-block centrifuge, and this can just get replaced with an EV cable, and then when I do that, I'll probably replace these with EV single blocks, or multi-blocks. Not entirely sure, but what is still power failing? It's this. Okay. Well, that's our last system to upgrade, and it's also the system that prompted all of this. Because yeah, having EV single blocks is very cursed, and in general, having single blocks on this server is kind of bad, because it's TPS. Which is kind of bad news for me, because my entire design here is about just using single blocks to process everything on the spot. But we probably will have to have a separate system, likely over here, that sends it all through the B ore processing. And they're all like parallel LUV ore processing machines. But I'm not going to worry about that now. Yes, I'm just going to make the problem worse. This is probably the greatest concentration of single blocks on the entire server. Honestly, I can't even be that mad about the fact that I might be a problem. Because our base has been so bad for so long, it's never caused any issues. Now finally we get the TPS spotlight? Holy. Oh, don't do that. That's just a terrible idea. Burn all the cables. Does this work now? Yes. Also, thorium worked really well. Speaking of which, it's almost done. Why isn't it done? No, it's just taking that long. Okay. HSS coils are stuck, though, because it can't make the ingots, and it can't make the ingots because... Why? Ingots are made in here. Is input blocking on? Oh. All smelting is blocked right now. It won't work at all. Oh, hold on. I know exactly why. This is something Aspect has done so many times now. I don't even need to really check. I'm gonna take out the patterns preemptively. When we smelt things with Krypton, it takes 400 millibuckets, but Aspect does not know that, he just assumes it's a full ingot. And so every time he manually codes a recipe for the EBF, he makes it cost 1 full bucket per ingot. So that looks good, that's good. Really? No, but they're inputted automatically, huh? No, that only applies for the Mega EBF. These are supposed to be filled with Krypton always. So that's not actually the problem. Why doesn't it work then? It looks like a lot of things are broken. This looks like a system power issue. Like it just can't request anything. But it has enough power. Energy cell is full. That can't be it either. Do we have any AE2 experts who might know what this issue is? Because right now, it cannot carry out any crafting recipes. Vulcanus? No, it's not. It doesn't seem like it's just the Vulcanus. Because look, none of these cables will craft either. If I look in here, it needs to make molten arcanite. And that needs arcanite dust, but it won't start crafting arcanite, even though it has enough thorium to at least get started. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Looks like the prass is stuck. We don't have a prass, but I know what you mean. Thing is, it's weird that both the assembler and the Vulcanus would break at the same time. I'm thinking it's a crafting issue. Why can't I talk today? Like, I've fumbled every sentence. This is beautiful. Watch this. Blocking mode is just my favorite thing in the world. Actually, no, in an assembler you do need blocking mode. CP's disconnected mid-craft? I don't think so. Unless power blinked. No, I think it is an issue with the Vulcanus. So make HSSS here. This regular interface, it is online. It goes into this interface, which has this input bus as a storage bus. Why is it filtered? What are we doing? Why is it a filtered storage bus? Beautiful. I've seen that on so many storage buses, by the way. I'm actually kind of scared now. I remember this storage bus, before I started stream, this was filtered to carbon. So that's a bit worrying. Anyways, that's gonna start running now. I need my 12 HSS coils, but that's never happening. Let's get blaze powder going here. So I think this will only need 8x, so this does remind me I do want better acceleration upgrades available. So I'll just make this. That's 16x, which is incredibly powerful, but also incredibly power hungry. So this bee needs to output both of its production into 2 separate centrifuges. Phosphor needs to go into an extractor, so that's 3 machines. So that means I'll have... That was going to be odd. I'll have a conduit here, and then I'll just go into the 3 right here. Wait, do I want this to go into a drawer? Not directly. Well, let me look at this a bit more. What are we producing? So it's going to be blaze comb and simmering comb, which is blaze powder, beeswax, and refractory wax. That's a lot, okay. So then these all need to output immediately into an array of drawers. This one can go into a tank, though. No, this is going to have phosphorus, though. This is also producing phosphorus. Honestly, I do not care about the phosphorus. I'd rather trash it. Because we have 100,000 phosphorus in storage, and there's a separate B system to make more. So I'll just quickly grab an HV conveyor here and void all the phosphorus. Anyways, this will item output. Oh, it has to output in multiple directions. This can output everything onto the top, though. So then this is refractory wax, this is normal wax, and... Oh, do I want it organized like this? No. I want on the same line as all those. Wait, this will just be drones. That's annoying. Now the pipe needs to go on the back. think I just need 4 conduits here. This doesn't need to be filtered because it's a drawer. Then this will be filtered to just be blaze comb. And then this will be filtered to just be simmering comb. And then this actually doesn't need a filter at all. Or an item conduit for that matter. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. This will all go in here. And now this starts producing wax and phosphor, which are getting conveyed out. I need item pipes. I'm gonna be using item pipes a bit more now because conduits cause more lag, I think. GT item pipes aren't laggy, right? At least compared to conduits? I hope so. I hope I'm right about that. This should also be giving refractory wax, though I'm not seeing it. Please stop going in here. Okay, wait, no, that's not at all what I want. I want wax to go at the top. Don't store phosphor. I'm confusing myself. I'll need to filter this as well. How do you filter a conveyor? I don't think you can. Wait, why do these work so differently than in modern? I don't think I can filter this at all. Okay, well then screw the item pipes. I'm just gonna need a bunch of conduits. I was gonna try to be lag friendly. Heaven forbid. So this will just take phosphor. Not refractory wax, please no. Refractory wax goes up here. So we can filter this. How is there simmering comb now? Stop it. I can at least get the components of this down. And filter everything. Because the drawers don't need conduit filters. The drawers themselves are a filter. Can you please work? There we go. Jeez. Where's my key? There. The refractory wax, we have normal wax. And then what's the other thing I have stored here? There is nothing else that I need. This will just be normal wax. It's just this super tank that I was thinking of. There, that's everything locked now. That took way longer than it should have. This will be blaze powder and wax, so we just let this pull out on blue. This should also pull out on blue. Please? That's the front face, I think. Then phosphor needs to end up in this extractor. Why is it not going there? Oh, because it's full. This is an item extractor. That's definitely not the 8th time I've done that. Very weird that they're actually different things. There we go. That is incredibly slow. That's gonna be the bottleneck. I need to do this. Planning to do bees the whole pack? Yes. Bees can produce everything, and all the alternative methods of production are somehow less satisfying than sitting by an apiary for 5 hours. It's just GTNH. I might have a few void miners, but generally bees are just the way to go. Okay, one last thing I need to do. Actually make it a nether biome, because right now it's not actually producing blaze powder. This should have been fairly early on, but whatever. Luckily, Aspect has made this a lot easier by organizing the chest here. Or, this isn't organized the way it was before. It should be... this, I believe. Not that I would know how any of this shit works. I sort of just copied a screenshot I found. Oh, what is its preferred biome? I'm actually not sure. I assume it's the nether, because that's what I needed to breed it in. Yeah, hellish arid, okay. Then after this, I'll end stream. It's spooky. Dude, I don't know... Yeah, this is a nether biome. That's definitely a nether biome. Thought gunpowder goes last. Gunpowder... It goes second last, right before the page. Oh, unless you're reading this in reverse order. Actually, maybe that's the way Aspect meant it. This is just the order it was in the screenshot that I'm using as a guide. There we go. There we go. And then the next cycle will have what I want. Which is blaze powder. Okay, I'm gonna delete this phosphor, because clearly that's gonna take a while to get through. That does seem like a bottleneck for this system. Not much I can do about it. Anyways, that's our first source of passive lava. I'll also need a bunch of upgrades here. Though I think I only want to upgrade this, and then everything else is void. Well, I meant to get Naquita today, but I do not have time. We spent most of the stream redoing all this, and we did not get oil done once again, because this is just an incredibly slow craft, so that's just a background process forever. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and God bless.